Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Megan. Thanks so much for watching, and today I'm back for another pregnancy update for you guys. So right now I'm at 25 weeks and a few days, but today I'm going to be talking about weeks 23 and 24 of my pregnancy. And before I get into everything, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss any uploads, and also go follow me over on my Instagram. And let's go ahead and get into my weeks 23 and 24 pregnancy update. So on week 23, that is when I had my last doctor's appointment, and what they did on that visit was a cervical length check. They also were really nice and did a 3D ultrasound for me, and then I saw the doctor, and for my ultrasound everything looked good. My cervical length was awesome, and baby girl did not want her picture taken, but the ultrasound tech was really great and was patient and was able to actually get a good picture of her face. She was kind of like snuggled up into my uterus, so it was hard to get a good image, but I will insert a picture of that here. It's also over on my Instagram. And the other thing when she was doing my cervical length was she had to wait for what felt like forever. It was probably like 2 or 3 minutes at least, because when she first put the wand in, I was having a Braxton Hicks contraction, so she wanted to make sure that my cervical length was as accurate as possible, because that can make your cervical length look longer than it is because the muscles are contracted and like a little bit bigger instead of nice and thin. So once the contraction went away, she was able to get a good length, and luckily it is still at like, I think it was like 5 centimeters still, so everything is looking awesome as far as that goes. And then when I saw the doctor, everything was good there too. She sort of mentioned me doing exercise, and I had to remind her that I was on restrictions and that when I do a lot of activity or walking, I do get crampy. So she told me to continue doing light activity only and continue to follow what I have been doing, which is not lifting over 15 pounds, pelvic rest, not getting up and down off of the floor a million times a day, those kind of things. She said everything looks so good that I didn't have to go back in 2 weeks. So normally I would go, like if I went at 23 weeks, I would go at 25 weeks. But because everything was looking good with my cervical length still, she said that I could extend that out a little bit, and I don't have to go back until I am 27 weeks, which it will be the day before my baby shower. And on that day, I'm also doing my glucose test, another cervical length scan, a growth scan, and then also seeing the doctor that day. So I at least had a little bit of a break. Instead of going every 2 weeks, I got to go 4 weeks between last appointment and the next one. So that's awesome. And so when I was 23 weeks and about 5 days, I started having pretty bad cramps at work and back pain. And on Wednesdays, those are my busiest days. Like, I work from 7:30 to 6:30, and typically the afternoon is insane. Like, I am nonstop with patients from 1 o'clock until 6:30 when I'm supposed to like leave. So it was pretty crazy that day. Every single patient showed up, and about 5 o'clock is when I started getting crampy, and I still had an hour and a half of patients to see. So I kind of just thought I overdid it and didn't drink enough water, that kind of thing. So I tried drinking more water that night. I tried getting in a more comfortable position, but even into the next morning, I was still having cramps and back pain. So I ended up calling my doctor's office that Thursday morning. So I would have been 23 weeks and 6 days then. And basically they called me back pretty quickly. I was kind of surprised, but they called back quickly. They basically said as long as I wasn't bleeding, as long as the back pain and the cramping wasn't getting worse, then I was fine. So they said to give it like 24 hours, and if it's still going on to give them another call, and maybe they could bring me in to see what was going on. So that Friday when I turned 24 weeks, I thought everything was better. Like that Thursday afternoon I felt okay, and then when I first woke up on Friday it was fine. But at about 11 is when I started having the cramps again, and it felt like Shark Week cramps. That's the only way that I can describe it. It was the same back pain crampiness that I get with Shark Week, so that's kind of what made me extra nervous. And so I tried laying down, I tried drinking more water. I did end up going to a home health appointment at 1 o'clock, and I was getting tightening in my stomach at that point too, so I ended up canceling my later afternoon appointment. I came home, I rested, I drank water, and it still didn't go away. I gave it about like 45 minutes or so, and then I called again, and I talked to a different triage nurse, and she said the same thing. She said as long as it's not getting worse, as long as it was coming and going, which it kind of was, it would kind of come on pretty strongly and then go away, and it wasn't getting worse, and I wasn't bleeding or anything. She said everything was fine and that I could call back at any time if the pain and stuff continued. And it eventually did go away, but I did have to rest like the entire weekend for it to completely go away. The other thing that I did when I was 23 weeks, I think I was like 23 weeks in a day or something. It was the Orlando Prego Expo, and I was a procrastinator and I did not get a VIP ticket, which I kind of wish I did. I ended up just getting a regular general admissions ticket and did not win any goodies, and I didn't really get like a whole lot of samples. I was kind of disappointed with the vendors that were there where you could buy things. Nothing really like spoke to me, and they didn't have any cloth diapers there. They had the spray pal people were just showing you how the spray pal worked, but they didn't have any diapers for sale that I saw, so I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping to at least get some cloth diapers out of it, but I honestly wouldn't recommend going to the Prego Expo unless you get the VIP bag, because at least then you're paying a little bit more, but you get a whole bag full of goodies. So highly recommend if you're going to go to a Prego Expo that you get the VIP ticket. Otherwise, I don't feel like it is the best use of your time, and you do have to stay all day because they don't do giveaways until the end of the day, so that kind of stinks. And I'm wondering too if going to that on that Saturday also kind of led into the cramping and all of that happened on Wednesday, because I was pretty beat for the whole week after going to that. So anyways, that was 23 weeks. 24 weeks we already kind of talked about with the cramping and everything, and I have had it on and off throughout the week, and I am noticing Braxton Hicks contractions more often, especially like if I go from sitting up and then I like lay down, I notice it pretty good. And one of the cool things that happened this week also is that baby girl, I almost said her name, but we're gonna go with baby girl. She has been kicking so much and flipping around, and now you can actually see her kicking from the outside, which is just crazy to me. It's unreal that she's already so big that she's kicking enough that you can see it from the outside. So anyways, that is kind of it for what happened during weeks 23 and 24. And in a couple weeks is my baby shower, right when I turn 27 weeks. So I plan on doing a baby shower haul at that point. And then at some point I have to show you guys her room. Right now it is a complete mess. It is still work in progress, but I am getting there. So let me go ahead and show you guys what the bump is looking like now. So here is the 25 and a few day week bump. She is getting pretty big, and I finally feel like I look pregnant now instead of like I just ate too much food. But there you go. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Again, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so that you don't miss any uploads, and follow me over on my Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!